Hello, folks, and welcome to a not Monday. It is Wednesday, January 7th, but we are not missing the Techthusiasm live podcast this week. This is a little bit of a swerve, so there may be a couple less folks turning out, especially on shorter notice and stuff. But man, I was waylaid and out of sorts on Monday, so no way was this getting done. No way was this getting done Monday. So it's going to be a pretty chill conversation today. I didn't want to skip entirely this week. There's some other things afoot in life, and that'll be I'll be doing and going on coming next week. More than likely, there's not going to be a stream next week, no matter what. We'll see. I'm going to try. There's a loose chance I'm going to try. I'll talk more about kind of everything that'll be going down in the next week and a half or so after everything transpires. But suffice to say, we have some family plans and stuff coming up, and which I hope we can get to. I hope we can get to all of the stuff that we actually have planned. It has been a new year to say that. I think last week I was musing. I thought it was in conjunction with talking about having gone to the arcade, and that was like I was as soon as I saw that place, this old like all you can play single rate arcade that my family took me to, which was an awesome gift. They took me as kind of my Christmas gift the Sunday after after Christmas and the day before the last live stream. We spent a few hours in the place playing games, but it was so hot and so packed, and all these people touching all these things, and then moving on to the next thing and breathing on everything. Like, yeah, we're gonna come out of here with the plague, and I wonder if, in fact, that was our downfall, and broke our family health streak that was going so strong through a large majority of 2025 there. But we ended up booking a ski trip, northern Michigan, Shush Mountain, Shanty Creek area, where we went to. My kids hadn't skied that. My wife and I we'd skied it a few times many years ago, decades ago, but we haven't been back there in a while, and it was reasonably priced to still grab it at the last minute. So we went up on Tuesday, the 30th, drove up on Tuesday, got a little bit of a late driving start and stuff, but we were fine. And then as we started to hit the approach to the mountain, my daughter's like, my throat kind of hurts or whatever. She's got some symptoms, and it's like, oh no, man, we booked this trip to get out and do stuff. And if people are going to fall sick, we're not going to be able to do the stuff we're coming here for. And the four of us are going to be in this little 800 square foot ski condo, ski chalet for the next 3 nights. It looks like I'm stuttering a bit. 3 nights, 4 days there. So there's no way that if one person goes down, we're not all going down in some, or almost all of us are not going down in some capacity. It's only a two-bedroom setup, so the kids were in the same room. If one of them is sick, the other one is just gonna stand to get it. But anyway, we skied the first day, New Year's Eve. It was fun. My daughter troopered it out. You could tell though as the day was going on, she was getting rougher and rougher. She was getting, I think if her fever set in, she probably even skied with a little bit of a fever late in the day for the night skiing. And we came back and had a really chill New Year's Eve. Kids actually went to bed, and my wife and I were off, just the two of us, for ringing in New Year's. And then I woke up New Year's Day and my throat hurt and I was congested and stuff. It's like, oh man, I'm number two. So neither I nor my daughter skied day two. So we wasted money on those lift tickets. This is already proving a little tougher than I thought it might be. um, Wasted our lift tickets. My wife and son skied all day. They had a good time. I ended up actually working on the channel all day. That was probably my daughter's worst day. She laid in the bedroom. She kind of read a little bit. She slept a lot. So it was just me sitting in the ski condo by myself. So I grabbed my laptop and I really got to work. I all spent all day pretty much doing web learning. Really kind of figuring out a lot of the things that I wanted to put into action around Techthusiasm and the business and the web page, laying groundwork for a whole bunch of stuff. So it was useful time. I wasn't sick to the point where I couldn't do anything. But so that was the Thursday, and then it's like, all right, well, let's mix up the sleeping. So I'm gonna sleep on the couch. My son will sleep with my wife in the one bedroom. We'll have my daughter in the other bedroom. We'll try to spread out the sickos from non-sickos. And then got up Friday, drove home. Not the most comfortable drive home, but not terrible. Still didn't quite feel terrible, terrible yet. And then got home Friday. It had snowed, so we had to shovel snow. That's great after a long drive, not feeling well. Gotta go stay outside more and do this work just to shovel the snow. But eventually got in, unpacked, and all that stuff, and was able kinda just to chill out. Saturday, I mostly laid around. I could feel I was starting to get worse, but even on Saturday, I was still to the point where it's like, I just kinda wanna lay on the couch. I don't wanna I tried to read. I read a little bit. I read some comics, some digital comics for about maybe, I don't even know, half hour, 45 minutes, and it's like, I can't do that anymore. I'm okay to look at the TV, watch some YouTube or whatever, so I watched actually, I ended up going down a bit of a rabbit hole of a bunch of different YouTube content. I was watching a lot of, like, independent documentary films, like 45-minute to hour and 15-minute documentary films on YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So I watched all about like the history of Star Wars action figures and just like different elements of stuff like that. Collecting. I found this channel called Chasing Cardboard, and this guy Ty Wilson, I think his name is. It's like a 100,000 subscriber channel, but he's in the collectible game on the sports card side of stuff, and he's basically like American Pickers for sports cards. Really, really high production value. So not only watching for entertainment value, but like for research and learning. I always like to see discovering new channels and how they present themselves and like how they run their business adjacent to their channel and stuff like that. So I chilled out with that. My son kind of sat not next to me, but alongside, and we were watching some stuff and laid around. Didn't really eat, but I could feel I was getting worse as the day went in. And then finally, like the fever set, and it's like, wow, I'm feeling really really rough. And so Sunday, slept on the couch Saturday night. Um, I didn't really sleep well Friday night. My nose was draining all night, and I couldn't like just couldn't breathe. Couldn't string together much good hours of sleep. Slept in bed, but then after that, it's like we got to separate again. So we got to keep my wife clean. She needs to hold all this household operation together, um, while whatever else transpires with the rest of us transpires. So, but Sunday it was like 101.5 fever. It was the most that I felt so hot to the touch, and I was freezing. I felt like I was freezing from the inside out. Headache, my eyes ached, body ache, um, coughing, congested, all like everything that you wouldn't wanna have except for no gastro type of problems, but I felt so cold inside, but I was so hot. If I actually tried to cover up and tried to feel warm inside, I'd start to feel, like, nauseous, and so the only way I could keep myself from, like, not vomiting all day, I think, was to keep my feeling chill. So, like, specifically choosing to be more uncomfortable to avoid the discomfort of end up, like, actually getting sick, just subsisting on, like, a couple packets of applesauce here and there because nothing sounded even, like, the prospect of envisioning eating was not attractive or, at all to me. My throat hurts so bad, just swallowing water, anything. And then I'm coughing and draining and stuff at the same time, and, ugh, so that was the entirety of my Sunday, and then the fever it's the second of the same way on Monday. The fever broke a little bit, but then it wasn't very long. It came back again. So Monday, I couldn't even I couldn't even stand to watch TV or anything again. It's like I don't even care what anybody on these YouTube videos has to say about anything right now. I just wanna lay here. I'm gonna lay here, and I'm gonna be like, the stories that I've heard or about, like, um, the prisoners of war in, like, Vietnam or whatever, right? How did you get through that? Well, you just you envision the things that you're gonna do and the way the things are gonna be when you're out of the situation that you're in, and that's your focal point. So it's like, all right, that was basically my tactic for Sunday and Monday. I'm not gonna, I can't, I'm literally not focusing on anything. Moving, the prospect of anything is making me feel worse. All I'm gonna do is lay here and just envision the embodiment of being better, being through this. I will get through this. And this fever held pretty much all day Monday, and then Monday night finally slept a little bit, strung a few hours of sleep together here and there. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. Monday night was still pretty rough. And then I was actually starting to wheeze. My airways felt like they were starting to close up and stuff a little bit. So I think it was Tuesday morning. Yeah, because we're Wednesday today. Tuesday morning, I did the albuterol nebulizer, and that really helped. I really needed to do that overnight, but I waited until the morning, um, hit it in the morning, and that was a game changer. That moved my airways from, like, really was starting everything was starting to really clamp down and stuff to, like, feeling I could breathe again, and all right, now if I can breathe, I can, like, the way the mucus is collecting isn't as severe, and a couple things, various aspects and stuff are better. Finally, the sore throat started to go by the wayside a little bit. So I kind of perked back up again yesterday, and I still took a sick day, um, but I did spend some time on the computer, and I was up and about a little bit, kind of back and forth a little bit more between laying down and trying to actually do stuff. Um, but I could feel like what I did even was probably too much. And today I was on the computer all day today, and like I can feel it. I'm ready to go lay back down on the couch and just watch some TV, watch some YouTube, whatever. But just chill, starting to feel like dizzy from the lights of the computer and stuff like that. But so my daughter, she's recovering. I'm recovering. That's good. My son, he had some. He was showing some signs, but he hasn't gone full blown yet. And my wife, knock on whatever wood I have around here, is still a-okay. So she needs to hold on because we got big plans from Saturday onward, and we don't want to see these plans get compromised. That'll be a bummer, an expensive bummer, and just kind of a waste. Or if some, but not all of us are able to kind of see through the intent for what's lined up for us, it'll be a big bummer. So right now we think we can. We'll think we'll be okay. Every day goes by, I'll get a little bit better. Mostly, my biggest problem right now is kind of the drainage, and I'm coughing in the drainage and spewing, spew the stuff out. But my sore throat is gone, my fever is gone, and I think I lost like 6 pounds. So with this, my reading on the scale today was down like 5.5, 6 pounds from whenever the last time I used it last week. um, so I definitely haven't even thought about working out. Yesterday, I'm like, man, if I grabbed the tonal, I probably couldn't even pull the 5 pound just general drag weight on a lot of movements right now. But I'd love to get a workout in before activities on Saturday, maybe Friday, just to feel the positivity, um, the positivity of putting the body through a workout would be awesome to kind of set up. And but we'll see how things go. I need to be a little more slower than I was starting out yesterday and today, I think. So somebody in the comments mentioned to go Google the UK flu, and I was going to look and see. Apparently, out of like the UK and whatever, there's some flu strains that are particularly rough this year, and um, some flu mutation strains that are hitting with some extra severity and whatnot. So I don't know if that's maybe what this was, or and my guess is we got it. We left, and my daughter got it implanted, the alien virus implanted at the arcade. It took 2 days to incubate, and then she was down, and either I got spread to me there as well, or I just couldn't stand up against the direct proximity to her. And but the other two, they've made it. So we'll see how things continue to transpire. All I've seen otherwise is a lot of messages from other folks that were sick prior to Christmas, over Christmas, and whatnot. So anybody out there that's ailing and dealing with stuff, my heart's with you, and hopefully you have the luxury of kicking it and recovering and all that. So, but um, so on to some more fun more fun topics. So what's everybody been doing in their home theaters the last week? Our hopeful goal was to have finished all of the Star Wars original 9 Skywalker films by now, but we really didn't. We lost some movie watching opportunities over the weekend because I wasn't up to it. And the last thing we want to do, even tonight, we're like, oh, maybe we could do Rise of Skywalker tonight. And it's like, should we bring 4 people, two, two that haven't had full blown symptoms and one that we're really desperately trying to protect down into a 3,000 cubic foot space for 2.5 hours and breathe? Probably not. So, um, we probably won't get to movie watching will be on probably hiatus for a little while. But we did get through the uh, episodes 7 and 8. I'm drawing a blank on episode 7 named Last Jedi. And yeah, see, this is my brain fog. I was actually writing emails and stuff on Monday and Tuesday, even a little bit too. And it's like trying to do some correspondence, trying to do like a little bit of work. And like I'd write and then I read what I wrote. It's like, oh my God, I'd have to fix it. And then I'd look at it again and I'd have to fix it. And then I'd send it. And then I look at it. It's like, it's still like, there's still like a jangle mess in there. It's like the fever fried some of my synapses and stuff. They're still reconnecting with some rest and better nutrition and liquid and vitamins and supplements and all that stuff. Um, yeah, somebody help me in the chat. What's the name of Star Wars Episode 7? It's killing me now. But we made it through those, and we started The Mandalorian while we were on our ski trip as well. So, and my son and I actually we started the Clone Wars cartoon. So we're still pretty knee deep into the Star Wars content. We're only one episode into the Clone Wars cartoon. We did the movie actually as a family. As a family, we're not going to watch all whatever it is, 140 some episodes of the Clone Wars together. My son and I will get through that at a faster clip if we do it ourselves rather than relying on all 4 of us to be ready and willing and able to watch episodes. So we'll stick to the live action Star Wars stuff, I think, as a family, which is good because then we can be ready for Mandalorian and Grogu when it comes out, potentially in May. We'll see if that ends up being a theater attending worthy film or not. Maybe one of the 2 movies we see at the theater this year between, actually 3 movies because we got Spider-Man and we have Doomsday. So that may make the list, but we got to get through the series. I've only ever watched Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I skipped, just kind of held back on season 3, and I did watch Book of Boba Fett. So I'll be rewatching the rest of the family. My wife watched Mandalorian season 1 with me. She didn't watch 2. She didn't watch Boba Fett. So for everybody else, they'll mostly be watching new content to rewatch for me. But those are really good. Even Book of Boba Fett, I think, gets a little more hate than it deserves. The Rancor scene I thought was pretty cool, and some of the stuff it had some opportunities for improvement, but it had some moments of grandeur as well. So that's been our main our main focus. And we did beat my son and we did play the entirety of the Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which I think I actually already talked about last week. I think we had finished that on Saturday, so that might be actually an old topic. But so anybody paying attention to CES, my decision to buy the 98 QM9K has now been rendered completely defunct. I cannot believe that TCL has seen fit to basically drop a flagship right on the heels of a flagship so quick. I mean, that it's only been 2 months, I think, since the 9K came out. To have the 11L, not that it's not that it's a surprise that something like the 11L was announced at CES, but that it was announced with like immediate availability is kind of insane to me. But they're coming, and TCL wants to play the game, and they want to change the market. They want to challenge the big guys, stand shoulder to shoulder with the Titans, and they're gonna throw some punches. So I was watching some of Brian Whisper Tech or Whisper Status and FOMO stream. They had like a 4-hour stream. So I spent some of Saturday watching that. I was hoping to get through all of it to get the kind of their assessment of all the brands. Looks like Sony wasn't doing CES. There's going to be a separate event. LG is doing another event with more hands-on dedicated TV stuff coming up. I should see if I could try to get into some of these actually, both as a creator and as a dealer, because I do have representation for all these 4 major TV brands. Um, so CES is kind of sounds cool, but I'm glad I didn't go. Not that I would have been in any shape to be there this weekend anyway. But I'd rather keep this time of year focused on like family activities and family travels than business stuff. So I'm not too minded by that. But now I got to wonder. It's time to wonder: should I pick up this 11L TV? Let me get this up actually on a screen share. We can take a look at it together for a little bit. The LG was still, I think they're doing this other event, but their stuff was still shown. Their stuff was still shown anyway. So we know they have the RGB TV coming. Of course, they did the G6, the new OLEDs, the C6, G6, and all of that stuff. Here it is, TCL.com. Let's make this a little bigger. Oops. There's some cool things about this 11L that are definitely different and an improvement. Oh, that's the wrong button. Share screen. Window. And this one. All right, there we go. So yeah, SQD Mini LED. 10,000 nits. 98-inch, 10 grand. So I think the QM9K was 6 grand MSRP. So it's a pretty big premium. This really is a premium flagship line now. They added, of course, a bunch of the new panel technology. They added they've stepped the brightness up. I think this set also has 4 HDMI 2.1s, which is great. It's like the box is still over here on the right. They're supposed to be, yeah. So the bottom, it's taller. I was looking at the dimensions, like does this thing fit in the cubby that I've defined? And it does. There's a sound bar basically. The speaker is on the front now. This array across the bottom of the screen, which makes it a little bit taller. They kept the optical port and stuff, thankfully. This is a little bit thinner as well. If we go to the specifications, where is our dimensions? Yeah, 4 HDMI 2.1. Like to see that. SPDIF, digital optical audio. So it's got everything that I need. And I know now that the TCL software essentially works the way that I would need it to within my setup. Also, 150-ish pounds, which I think is about the same weight that the QM9K was, maybe a little bit. So actually might be a little bit heavier than the QM9K. So product size, 85.3 wide, which is about the same. Without stand, 49.8. I think it's about an inch taller or so, inch and a half taller than the QM9K is at the same screen size, but it's thin. 0.8 inches thick rather than, what is it, 2.2 or 2 point something like that, I think the 9K is. So, which is fine. It's almost like a G series level of thickness, 600 by 400 VESA pattern. So let's go back here to the overview. X11, the pinnacle of mini LED TVs. TCL deep color system, WHVA 2.0 ultra panel, more zones, higher brightness, better picture, new AI processor, Google TV, expanded home theater, Halo control system, ultra thin depth. Yes, this is really nice, and I wonder if this TV will present itself with a little bit more of a pop. So that's kind of the one thing that I've said a little bit about, at least my initial feelings based on my visual memory, my visual like acuity memory of going from the G2 to the 9K is that at least initially, it was failing to impress me in just kind of the pop. And I don't think my settings were off, like, color and brightness and all of that was what it should be. Higher quality content looked better. Games always looked really good. Kaleidoscape looked good. Some of the streaming, just a little bit less so and whatnot. I don't know if I've kind of I don't feel as strongly about saying that now though. We've watched more content on the 9K, and I'm pretty happy with the picture. I would definitely recommend it. Um, we finished, my son and I, we had a couple episodes of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes that we finished up season 1. So that animated an animated show that was, I think, not HDR, but just, yeah, SDR streaming. We watched the Clone Wars episode. We watched The Mandalorian, and like I'm not bothered by anything, but by any um, color, rendition, brightness, clarity, presentation, anything. But I still wonder if this 11L may bring back some, I don't know, some a little bit of vibrance or something, or bring another layer of kind of brilliance to the presentation of the image. And then of course it has the potential of hitting 10,000 nits. Um, Ultimate color, ultimate brightness, ultimate contrast, deep color system. I think they're saying 7,000 to 1 contrast ratio, if I'm remembering my numbers right. 100% of TCL deep color system, advanced color suite that blends super quantum crystals, super QLED for 100% of BT 2020 color. Crazy. With TCL's ultra color filter, advanced color purity algorithm for incredibly vivid and accurate pictures. 100% of BT 2020 color, captures the widest modern color range available. Super colorful quantum crystal, high efficiency luminescent materials, dense protective layer, water and oxygen barrier, passivization layer, etc. So I think that the big choice, and I need to really spend some time thinking about this now, is like, do you just stick with this, or do I just go all the way to the G6? Go back to OLED and some of its advantages and whatnot, other than its price. One thing that I hadn't seen was pricing. I had seen like LG models and LG lineups. I haven't seen anybody validate any pricing yet, and I haven't seen any dealer pricing on any of this stuff as well. So nothing's come out that I've been able to look at in terms of price sheets and stuff. So for now, I have no reason to believe that the G6 97-inch is not another $25,000 television this year. I hope it's not. um, but certain program access and discounts and stuff that I hope to have access to aside, that still puts the G6 at 2.5 times the price of this set. And is it 2.5 times better? I don't know. WHVA2 ultra panel. See all these different layers and stuff that they apparently they like went back to and rebuilt their production lines in their fabs and stuff to be able to bring this TV. Like this thing is like a TV bomb. Whereas like the QM9K was kind of like a little, almost you could say, I don't know. It feels to me like it was like it's an overclocked version of the 8K. It really wasn't necessarily standing apart technologically so much, or in any major way from the 8K. Whereas this is a year over year evolution, um, with a bunch of new, brand new specific technology and things implemented. Yeah, there it is. Exceptional picture quality driven by a high 7,000 to 1 contrast ratio for stunning clarity between light and dark scenes. Zero border, which is fine. I think it's black now as well, which I'm pretty sure the 9K is silver. Yeah. The 9K has a very, very thin panel border anyway, though. I don't know if it's technically the same as the zero border, if it has a little bit more of a border. It doesn't look like this. So the border, the presentation of the frame of the television and the border is not anything that would be driving like it's driving exactly 0% of any choice to pivot over to this thing. But still, zero border, but you have the lip at the bottom now, as you can see here for the which I believe is the sound bar. More zones, higher brightness, better picture. LD 20,000, yeah, precise dimming zones. Um, Up to LD 20,000 precise dimming series and up to 10,000 peak nits combined for a picture that is brighter, deeper, and more realistic. So I was watching the other one that I was watching was Caleb Dennison. He was talking that like he's got a 98 already on his way to him from what he said. So like there's going to be content about this TV hitting in a couple weeks, and this is this like a master move. I love it. The fact that not only did they put this thing on the market, but it's shipping. It's like, no, it's not June, it's not May, it's not March. It's like we're gonna put these things in people's hands. We're gonna like own the year, like the very beginning of the year, the discussion cycle, the marketing cycle with like brand new flagship product, like ready to go out the door, already moving and like coming soon, functionally ready to order and get. So I need to. I've actually already kind of made my initial inquiry as well as I kind of decide what I want to do with my current situation. Um, I'm not bothered to have. I'm not bothered to let the 9K go after what'll only be maybe about a month. It's about fundamentally, I think, or so what it'll be. Although it would probably, with the stuff that I've got going on, some other things, for me, this would be like a late January, probably a late January thing. So I would have still got two-ish months or so out of the 9K anyway. And it did help me validate that, I'm all in on 98-inch screen size up in that living room going forward. So new TSR AI processor. So I'm curious, folks, have you been watching any of the CES news? What do you think? Is there any TV news that's catching your eye? This is the one that stands out to me. And again, I think my big analysis coming up is going to have to be between this and the G6, I think. It's almost ironic that I feel like the whole RGB thing was supposed to be the belle of the ball this year. The thing in TV tech that was going to shake everything up um, and bring about all this change and whatever. And it's like the guys that are there, I think Brian and FOMO, and I think the AV. There's I don't know what his name is offhand. The guy from ABS Forum, he's making videos now in Calib, and they're like, yeah, I like what okay, they had the RGB, but they had this, and like this is better. Um, so it it really I'm really wanting to see more content about like because I think even just a couple weeks ago, the idea what I think was seemed to be clear to me that like RGB was going to be the message, the thing everybody was talking about. And it's like, well, it seems like there's other models that a lot of these manufacturers still have that like um, are not the RGB models, and they're the ones that are getting the focus and the attention. So the irony, elegant cosmetic design. There, zero point 0.8 ultra thin depth, virtually zero border, cable management options. Oh, and the feet. That's pretty cool. You can kind of run your cables through there. And then they have, yeah, the mine has these as well. It's like these metal or the not metal, plastic tabs, I think that you can snap into the TV and um, lock in some of the cabling and stuff along the back. One of the other things that was confirmed, and they said is that this is going to get the Dolby Vision 2 in firmware. So, and I think LG was not talking Dolby Vision 2 based on some of the information that I had seen. 144 hertz panel refresh rate. I wonder if that has to be kind of overdriven. On the 9K, you have to kind of like elect super high refresh rate mode versus just kind of being native. Hopefully, it's obviously a new HDMI chipset and stuff going on, which is why all of 4 ports are at the same level. So hopefully there's a even better HDMI implementation. So they're advertising the gaming stuff. That's great. Would like to see native G Sync. That's like the one thing that LG does that nobody else does is a native G-Sync. I'd like to see more of the TV manufacturers do that. So I thought this was pretty exciting news. And if I were if I were an end consumer that had knowingly bought the 9K, thinking like, oh, I'm going to really enjoy this TV for years, to really have it just get smacked a couple months later is disappointing. Um, I'll be able to move the 9K on without any major troubles, I suspect, and be able to facilitate anyway. No matter what I was planning to do, a 2026 television, I wanted to stay current. I just thought it would be 5, 6. I would get 5, 6 months out of the 9K. That's why I did it. If it was only really going to be this couple of weeks, then I probably would have waited and just only done a um, single upgrade. But as it is, we had some fun with it. We played um, well, multiple video games. We finished Hyrule Warriors and Cosmic Invasion. We watched a couple of movies. We watched all our Christmas movies on the living room on the 98 and stuff. So we got enjoyment out of the double upgrade step, even if it ends up being a shorter term thing. If I do go for the G6, then I presume that will take a while to get, and that will fulfill the kind of the original expectation of that the 9K will hang for a while, probably a good few months, several months, handful of months before being relegated away for a 2026 model to take its place. But if I do this thing, I don't know, it'll be pretty quick. But no matter what, I like what they're doing. I love big brand moves, right? Power up the market, shake up the market, challenge the status quo, really try to push performance on multiple fronts here. And yeah, TCL is a brand with some really good momentum behind it. And so I love a good business story. I'm a nerd on a lot of levels. I read books about business and finance and in industries and stuff that I participate in and that I'm interested in. And so um, I like to see bold business moves, product moves, and stuff like that, market moves. And I think TCL is like kind of writing the current redefining the playbook for a lot of stuff here lately in the television market. Probably a place at the table that like Vizio and Vizio was probably positioning for some years ago before it kind of fell back off by the wayside. Um, but exciting nonetheless. Other than this, the only other let me see if I can pull this up. The only other interesting piece of CES news was out of SVS. Which I don't even think. So I'll share this back in a second. It's not even on their own webpage yet. Press reviews. Where is your area? So I knew something was brewing, not because of any insider information, but hold on, let's find a press release. Yeah, we'll go here. So from Acoustics, we'll share this page. So SVS unleashes revolution, new 3000 series subwoofers and Dolby Atmos soundbar at CES 2026. So not a big surprise. Of course, they started with the PB SB17s, and then the 5000 was launched with the trickle down build up of that technology, and it makes sense now that the 3000 is the next one to kind of feel the upgrade, feel the impact of what they've been working on in a lot of technology ways. But I have a local customer that he and his wife had come by over the Christmas break to demo some stuff. We demoed the theater here predominantly spend our time talking upstairs. He's got a basement that he's redoing. Nice multifunction area, open concept area. It's not a theater, it's not a projection setup, it's not a dedicated media space, it's a multifunction space. They'll watch movies down there, but sports and gathering, bar, adjacent bar area, and then outside patio, it's all connected. Um, so he wanted to do multi-channel setup, big screen, etc. So we're going for like an um, 85-inch TV. It'll be a 5.2.2 audio system, receiver, a little bit of distributed audio, stuff like that. But as I was speccing that system out, it's like a couple of SB3000s would be perfect for this. It's a perfect subwoofer for this setup, and and then I couldn't get them. they were they were limited availability, and then like out of stock, unorderable. It's like, oh, something's coming. It's that time of year. And so here we go. So as I said, I had an inkling that the replacement was coming because and you could see actually they SVS had the prices on the 3000 were discounted for a little bit, kind of running up. So we were basically clearing out final stock of what was available. So, but this is the soundbar is probably the most interesting part, right? Because it's kind of a brand new product category ultimately um, for them. So yeah, so 3000 Revolution series subwoofers, so both ported and sealed. PB3000, SB3000. These are 13-inch drivers, 1200 watt, 4000 watt, Class D amps, switch mode power supply, software control app, auto room EQ. So that's still all pending firmware updates. Still waiting for that to come. But again, all of the things that they've been working towards in now shared DNA between the 17s, the 5000s will be in the 3000s. Pretty good. Not announced pricing yet. Coming early Q1, and then the soundbar. So complete soundbar systems, dedicated three-way acoustic design for left, center, and right channels, including 9 drivers powered by 180 watts of onboard amplification, Dolby Atmos decoding, handling everything from stereo through immersive mixes, onboard audio EQ room correction system, Dolby Dialogue enhancer, etc. Pairs together or includes Revolution wireless subwoofer as standard, not as an afterthought. 12-inch high excursion driver, 600 watt, Class D amplifier, subwoofer ships prepared, plug and play setup. Also offering an optional dual subwoofer configuration. Nice. Also optional upgrade path in the form of the Soundbar Max, which adds a pair of wireless surround speakers, two-way design, bi-amped 50-watt amplifier per speaker, prepared for setup. So pricing not yet announced, and SVS targeting late Q2 2026 ship date. So I'll obviously be able to offer these. I am an SVS dealer as well. A lot of ways to buy SVS stuff. If you want to get it directly through me, that's possible. If you want to buy it from them, you can still go through my affiliate link to do so. I would appreciate it, or the other third parties that I still kind of partner with or offer through as well are also available. But if this fits anybody's bill for what you're looking for in a soundbar setup, I think this will be a pretty nice package, pretty nice offering. So that's the only really 2 pieces of CES news that stood out to me. If anybody's seen anything else, pop a note in the comments. Of course, there's always I haven't even gone down the rabbit hole of like what's all the other all the other wild tech, right, going on there. Boston Dynamics unveils production ready version of their Atlas robot. Robots of CES, lawnmower helper, and a digital pet. Humanoid robots pour coffee. That's yeah. I haven't gone down any of that rabbit hole yet. There's cars. I think there was a bunch of automotive stuff there. Being in the automotive technology industry for sure. Like it was funny a little while ago when, like, people that I work with, salespeople, marketing people, etcetera, and at, like, our certain customers, like, CES was now an event for them, which it never really was before. Live updates, Caterpillar, NVIDIA, robotaxis, updates from Lego. Lenovo debuts space frame design and latest ThinkPads, so, of course, computers and a bunch of stuff. NVIDIA announces DLSS 4.5 at CES. Second generation Transformer Super Resolution is available now for all RTX GPUs. Cool, cool. I think these new panels as well are gonna be set up for more advanced, like GeForce Now and the game streaming and stuff like that. That's something that I probably actually wanna spend a little bit of time playing around with, this year. Granted, I have the PC and I'm not looking to deviate away from local hardware to stream play yet, especially because the game library is not the same. It's not like all of Steam is not represented in GeForce Now, but still, it's a technology that I think, Google tried and failed with Stadia, but NVIDIA, I would bet more of the attach more of my cart to NVIDIA's horse in that race. And eventually, I think more positive progress will be made, and it's something probably worth taking at least a little bit of a look at, experiment with perhaps this year, um, provided that at least we're playing on like the 5080 level and at least the best performance that we can get out of it. That would be relatively close to the same PC that I would want to build and maintain and have for myself. AI dominates, tech giants unveil future in Las Vegas. Yeah, of course. Well, the AI in a lot of things. I'm not big into all the lifestyle stuff, though. I don't know that I necessarily need my refrigerators and appliances and all these things like connected in certain ways. And there's definitely I think we all hit a point at some at some level where there's some level of technology that you kind of become a Luddite for. And it's just like, yeah, I don't need that. I'm good with the olden way, the traditional way of something working or something operating or whatnot. But I'll be doing my research. I'll have some more time to catch up uh, on some of the TV news specifically. Again, I feel like I got a good handle on the TCL stuff. Now I got to go come up to equal speed on the LG side of things, and then give it some thought because I do want to do the 26 TV upgrade. That was kind of always in the plan, and it's been a fun start to the year actually. From a business perspective. So not only do I have multiple kind of engagements and customer engagements and stuff going on, a lot of screens lately. A lot of people, for like the screen has been the foundation or the start of, or in some cases the end as well. So in some projects, right from the end of 2025 into 2026, where the screen kind of finalized theater, somebody's theater that I've been working with for quite a while, better part of the last year, and then a couple of other folks where the screen was kind of a stepping point upgrade to start doing some other things in the room, and then just finalized another screen order here recently. Another one just over the New Year's week. Going to be going. I'm going to be going once everything arrives, probably a little bit more towards the end of January, to one of the channel regulars that often is around on the streams. Got a behind the screen speaker plus the new screen kind of form factor setup, moving to an acoustically transparent. That's pretty exciting. Talking to a couple of other folks that have in some cases basically like full room or full speaker array upgrade plans in mind. So and then this other Michigan basement opportunity which I secured as well. We're doing some focal speakers in there, the Thiva line, which I'm excited to. I think it's a really great. The Thiva turned into a really great application for this space with a couple of the form factors. So it'll basically be like a Thiva Anthem TCL setup, looking pretty nice. um, so lots of stuff, lots of cool stuff, really kicking off the year strong. So happy about that. Um, I finally kind of an announcement, and I'll make a little bit of an edited video about some of the kind of business happenings for the new year. Then, but we'll talk about that a little bit here, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. There's a couple comments as well. I'll hit the comments in just a moment before we clear out as well. Um, um, I'd already been considering kind of looking into or picking up per listen as I they didn't quite have their in-wall line ready to go around the time that I was already content to move forward with the Focal 1000 series. Um, but I think it's I think it's a great line. I think there's a lot of great competitive value to be found in kind of cross shopping the per listen in walls and the Focal in walls. And I think there's been quite a number of folks that I've interacted with as well that were debating like the in wall um, like the 1000 series versus the per listens and whatnot. And so I specifically had a customer that I've been talking to, and he had expressed interest in maybe taking his research and um, the project intent to per listen as a brand. It's like, oh, this is perfect opportunity. Then I'll just see what I need to do to get kind of set up with them. I already had some contacts and whatnot. I just hadn't gone fully to do it yet. So basically over the course of the holidays, reached out, we chatted a little bit. They use a marketing company, so was able to kind of get set up, and I announced it in the newsletter. I'll talk about the newsletter in a second, but I can't say fully here that Techthusiasm is a authorized um, dealer now, a reseller for per listen products. So if you're looking for per listen speakers or subwoofers, I can get those. I haven't added the brand logo to the webpage yet. I need to do that. Um, but yeah, I have access like full gamut. My dealer portal information stuff is there. There's some new training materials and other things that I'm hoping to jump into. But I think it'll be another nice offering to kind of um, add into the lineup. So I hope it does really well as well. Um, of course, Per Listen was struck with some sad news. Their founder actually passed away over the Christmas holiday. He had I guess, some health concerns that he was fighting and kind of succumbed to those. Shakes me. Those news always shake me to my core. It's not somebody that I had the pleasure of interacting with, but I know pretty clearly. Like I have a lot of friends in the industry and around home theater hobby and other creators and business people and whatnot. And their voices were pretty clear how much they liked and respected Dan. So sad news to go along with the announcement, but I'm sure that the company will continue its march forward in the memory of its founder and all that. So if anybody's interested in talking about per listen products and whatnot, you can get in touch with me for those. So that was an exciting announcement, and again, I've got a project going. We're kind of getting set up to explore the product line as a solution for this one theater build or audio upgrade and stuff. So that's exciting. I was also fully approved over the break, coming out of the break, basically, to be a wholesaler with Sideshow Collectibles. So I want to talk about this a little more in a kind of its own segment some other time, but I've dropped some allusions to the like movie memorabilia stuff, and um, I know there's quite a few folks in the broader channel audience that are into similar things. Like you buy memorabilia items. Some folks are buying statues and premium formats and figures and whatnot. My son and I, yeah, pretty much since maybe the last about through Q4 of last year, decided to kind of expand our comic collection into a bit more of a broader pop culture movie memorabilia collection and do some figures and some hot toys and some stuff like that. And we've already started buying some things. And so I evaluate very little nowadays without starting to like turn the cogs in my brain to think about, okay, how does this relate to, is there a business opportunity here? Like what can we do with this? And so it's like, yeah, you know what? Like this is directly tangential to the core of the fun of home theater, which is the content. Right? We don't build these systems and buy all this electronics and equipment just to watch the electronics and hear the equipment, right? We do it to do proper justice to our favorite content, to our favorite movies, to our favorite shows, to our favorite licenses, and all of that. Um, and so that's really where the fandom is. We're tinkerers, and I think a lot of us we do like the gear. The gear is fun, but the gear isn't the end. The end is the content that the gear services us in the best way possible. So I've always been a collector. I was an only child, always a toy kid, 80s kid. So I was there for all of it. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, um, were my big jams. My son, I've slowly dabbled him into a lot of that same stuff, and um, he's taken a liking to a lot of it. He's quickly become a huge Star Wars fan. Obviously, already long developed our Marvel fandom together. So um, it's like, yeah, let's do this. And so there's still a lot of things that I need to work out with this. And again, we'll have a little bit more of a broader, like kind of historical discussion in a future live stream coming up, maybe later in January. But I can formally make the announcement that yeah, I can access a lot. If this is stuff that you're interested in, and you're already going through Sideshow perhaps to order hot toys, or order statues and premium formats and things like that, consider reaching out to me and bring that business through me. I can help curate, help manage your orders and pre-orders and all of that sort of stuff. So I think it'll be fun and exciting. It'll be an interesting puzzle to see how it exactly all fits. It'll be some new dimension of content that we can make some videos around that my son and I will have fun doing. Um, maybe I'm hoping it brings new eyes to the channel because it's like I think there's a lot of kind of interesting crossover. So anyway, I won't belabor this one too much right now. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail. What I'm hoping to get out of that next time, or in a future discussion. Um, so the other thing that I want to mention is the newsletter. So I've already issued the first of the Techthusiasm newsletters. This is something that I had been planning to do for a long time, really wanting to do for a long time, especially as now we have a business. And I talked to some folks, of course, people coming to me for equipment and using Techthusiasm as your dealer, as your integrator, are largely doing it because of the channel. They're coming through the channel, and I get that, but not everybody like sticks to YouTube, especially after like they may have gone to YouTube and they might have found me or found my content and it was helpful to them while they were like researching something. They had the inclination, they saw a kaleidoscape and they wanted to learn more about it. Um, and then they went and found some information, or they, some other educational type content that I like. The type of content that I do, I think, really helps people out. And then maybe some, once they have their information, they're not coming back to YouTube regularly. So like newsletter is a perfect way to stay in touch with some people better, um, for more of like the business news and information. And if there's particular like content that I want to make sure gets highlighted to the um, to the customer base or the people I'm interacting with, promotions, better way to communicate promotions as well, especially when there's like brand promotions and stuff like that. JVC deals are going on right now. The Kaleidoscape Q1 promotions just came out. And there's a combo deal available now, like a Strato C and a 24 terabyte compact Terra is available right off the top, $2,000, I think under the prior MSRP of the units combined. So stuff like that I want to be able to communicate. And if I want to do any special of my own promos, I want to do like giveaways or you know add-on deals, something like that. The newsletter is going to be a place to do it. I've already got some plans for giveaways. I want to do like some Kaleidoscape credit or maybe some Amazon gift card giveaways through the newsletter early on. Um, use it as a form of dialogue to kind of capture some things and get information to folks that it's hard to always distill it out of YouTube. 4 hours of live streams a week or a month is a lot, maybe for somebody to watch, but uh, there might be 6 or 10 key pieces of information that I really wanted to get to that person, right? I really wanted to get to more people, and um, if I can do that in the newsletter, that's really great. And I just didn't have a structure to do that. So that day that I spent down on the couch up north, I figured out email campaigns and really figured out quite a lot. Actually, I basically built an online digital store. Um, that is not public and available yet, but something that I want to want to work a little bit more towards. I want to be able to present like recommended items, gear and equipment that I like the most, and whether actually I offer it or not. If there's a best place to buy it, if that's me, it'll be me. If it's not, it'll be the a partner, referral, affiliate, whatever. But I really want to do to have like a showcase, gear showcase or something like that on the web page, and then so I figured out a lot of that stuff. Got the email campaign thing figured out. So go back to the emails, the subscriber thing. So right now, if you go to techthusiasm.com, scroll down to the bottom, you will see the ability to sign up for the newsletter. So I would encourage folks to do that. I don't know what I won't have a defined frequency, probably not more than once a week. Um, Maybe some weeks if there's really nothing to say, I won't do the newsletter. Um, but somewhere, so I'm guessing the frequency will fall somewhere kind of in there. As long as there's something new and relevant to say that I think that format fits right to get the message out, then I'll issue a newsletter and hopefully make it a little light, quick, interesting read, and again get some pertinent information out to everybody as well as some opportunities and rewards and promotions and some cool stuff like that. So that's my goal for that. But I was able to so I figured out the whole email campaign structure on my web technology. Figured out I know how to build a web store. So as I start to kind of work towards the concept of this um, gear store with cart checkouts and stuff like that, I'm well on my way to figuring that out. I was also kind of needing to work on it as well because if we're doing the memorabilia side of things and we want to have like a memorabilia store, then now I have the capability to do that. I could put statues and figures and stuff. Depending on if they're pre-orders or we're stocking stuff. But anyway, we could have a store for that as well. And the other thing, I didn't do this yet, but I do plan to do it. Some folks have been asking about this. Is I've long maintained a spread shop for Techthusiasm gear. You can get logo shirts and mugs and stuff like that. Um, but I found that that can also be drawn. I can also pull that directly into the web page a little bit better, um, and integrate. So I'm really trying to integrate a bunch of services in under kind of a unified web technology and spend the time that's required to kind of figure out all the bits and pieces and methodologies and the how-tos of how to do it all. I was hoping my kids would actually play a little bit more of an active role in doing this, but I ended up just kind of needing to take it on myself. So, so it's exciting times. There's a lot of stuff going on to kick off the new year. Ton of customer engagements, and I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me for their upgrades and their stuff. I'm doing my best to give like good advice, and sometimes that means getting different stuff and not just I can't sell that, but that's really what I think you should get. Go get that. um, so that's all right. That's happened a couple times. um, but it's fun, and I think the satisfaction of having people in a great space where they're enjoying their systems, they think their systems are better because of my involvement. That's the whole positivity factor and whatnot. So we got these new brand collaborations going on. Again, offering per listen equipment, wholesaler for memorabilia and collectibles, working with Sideshow Collectibles to start. A lot of new web activities coming, and the newsletter is underway, subscribable now. um, it's only January 7th, so pretty fun. Pretty fun, exciting stuff. All right, let's get to this comment that's kind of been sitting for a little bit upside. Um, my eyes are kind of messed up. This is a new name, so I love welcoming the new names. Mr. Max Gangster. Cool. How do you like your Kaleidoscape Strato E so far? What would you like improved? I think they can do a better job with the remote. It would be convenient if it could also control the volume. Um, yeah, so if you can go back on the channel and get my picture I'm a big proponent of Kaleidoscape, so I will say that I'm a big longtime proponent of the brand of the platform. I think it's fantastic. I've been using Kaleidoscape for like 8 years. Um, started my original Strato was like a used Strato S I picked up off of eBay, and I've gone through different form factors. And right now I've got two E's, and now the big 48 terabyte server. Um, two players because I run it in both zones. It's pretty much the main thing that we watch in our theater. um, unless what we want to watch is not available on Kaleidoscape because it's like a streaming specific show or something like that. But usually, if we're watching streaming or we're watching TV series type stuff, especially with the 98-inch TV, we just do that upstairs. Nowadays, we come down here for movies, and if it's a movie, I'm getting it on Kaleidoscape if I can. Um, Actually, Sammy Prescott was asking me today, chatting about Anthem and some audio delays and with regards to the Mad VR, and it's like, oh, you know what? I had to tweak my audio delay, which is a per input thing on the Anthem. I had to reverse it a while back actually, and I was looking at my settings, and I haven't. I don't think we've used the Apple TV in the theater in like months because again, we just haven't watched something that's required it. When we come down here to do movies, it's largely been on the K. So, I'm happy with the Stratos overall. I'm happy with the line. It is what it is. The form factor of the players and the servers, the reintroduction of storage into the players a year ago, a year and a half ago, was a great move with the Strato V. The Strato E refined that and brought the price point down, even though it cut the storage, of course. Um, I think the V and then the E following it were incredibly great products to bring a lot of people into Kaleidoscape that were sitting on the fence and that we're not gonna spend 10 grand, on a C plus a server to get started. So, um, since they've come out as well, the software has gotten better, tangibly better in the last year. I appreciate that. Um, some of the features that were on the roadmap, and desired by a lot of folks like CEC and stuff have gone live. There's been just usability improvements, quality of life, navigational improvements, and stuff like that. Always appreciated. Um, of course, the store always continues to expand with new content. There's a lot of specific content and studios and stuff that I think people are desiring to see come along, and we'll see what happens in the 2026 year ahead. Um, in terms of what I would like to see improved, um, my biggest thing is I just want to continue to see I want to continue to see more software improvements. I want to continue to see UI refinements, um, usability improvements to the UI. I'd like to see more technical information on the UI. Um, and a couple of other like Mike's here. If he's still here, he's seen my request for some of these things in the past. Um, I'd like to see a native HDR mode for the UI so that like we can run the UI at 4K HDR 24 and have a zero sync time um, black in a projection setup, kind of like we can accomplish with the Apple TV. If you have a Mad VR anyway, it helps with that. Um, so some tweaky stuff, some control element stuff, but main thing that I'm all in for is UI improvements. I don't know really what we'll see in terms of hardware. I don't want to speculate too much as well in terms of what hardware could or could not be this year. There's a lot more new hardware in 2025 than I would have possibly anticipated. Um, and I have to be careful as well because I am a dealer for them. And so I don't have any information about product roadmap. I don't know anything that's coming or scheduled to come or be launched or announced anytime soon. But um, if I were to if I were to cast my make my own statements about what I think would be good, and then that's what they're doing. Even if I'm saying that just because it's my opinion, it still doesn't line up or look the best. So I try to avoid that situation. But I think you'll always see, hopefully the capacities fluctuate as hard drive models come and go, and sizing and technology evolves throughout the year. So we'll see. I don't know what'll happen with the Dolby Vision 2 um, path forward. So that may if that may factor into any of the plans coming up. Of course, again, we're at CES now, so some of the new TV manufacturers are talking about Dolby Vision 2 coming in firmware updates. um, so Mr. Max Gangsters, I think they can do a better job with the remote. Yeah, I would say the remote's probably never been a super strong point of the platform. The smaller plastic remote we have now is a improvement from the remote that existed prior to that. I will say that. I do think that the remote should always control volume. I don't know if Mike is still here. He might be able to comment. I feel like there was a period of time where there was another variant of the current remote, the black remote, that had volume buttons on it, which I guess would have been IR. Um, but I actually bought myself a remote just to have one for my Strato E's, and I don't know if I was just hallucinating and that never actually happened, but I feel like yeah, okay, I must have got the old one then. The current version of the IR remote has volume buttons on it. So that's what I thought. I thought that did, and then the version that I got when I bought my second Strato E, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just add a remote in here." It didn't have the volume buttons on it. It's like, "Oh, that's interesting." Okay. Yeah, it sends those keys to the player, and now the player does the CEC thing. Oh, perfect. That's even better. So it's not just volume IR control of the thing that it's connecting to, but you can do that through the CEC as well. So, Mr. Max Gangster, if you're still there, um, are you saying this because you bought in? Are you saying this because you're thinking about buying in? We'll be wrapping up soon, but if you have a thought, feel free to sound off. Mike saying that, oh, this is back to the CES, the Roborock vacuum cleaner that can stand up on two legs and climb stairs. I'll have to check that out. Roborock. Where'd my window go? I really can't type. Is there news? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Stair climbing vacuum. Do they have a picture? Let me put the share back up. Roborock dropped 3D robot vacuums. Here we go. I don't want to play the video. I'm going to get a takedown. I just need a still picture. They had a picture down below here of it going up like a smaller, but it sounds like this other one is something bigger. Oh, there we go. Stair climbing Saros rover is officially in development. Wow. Cool. I'll have to check that out some more. Let's see. Oh, added to his reply here. The most recent KOS, yep, added CE support. You control volume with compatible devices. Cool. Yeah, neat. Yeah, I'll spend at some point. I will spend a little bit of time driving through some of the oddball CES news, but Flash Gordon, don't forget about the analytics side of this. Very exciting. Which analytics are you thinking specifically of there? Let me know. High Finest, thoughts on the new 97-inch G6? Is that the pick? Well, so High Finest, I think you came in a little bit late. I spent the first 20 minutes talking about my Plague, or 15 minutes, and then we spent probably about 20 minutes talking about the TCL 11L. So I was kind of floored by the 11L. And I would have to admit 100%, before the 11L, I was very, very likely to, um um I was very, very likely to say that I was probably going back to LG. I was going 97-inch G6, but there's a battle. There's a real battle, I think, of choice about the 11L. The one thing that I haven't seen, if you've seen it anywhere, feel free to share it, or I can try to look for it on the side here as well. Is there ever been an MSRP set yet for the 97-inch G6? Is it still 25K? I haven't seen anything about pricing. That's what I'm really curious to know. Because even though the 11L is more expensive at 10 grand, the 11L is looking like a heck of a TV. So, yeah, we'll see. Joe, welcome, my friend. Hello, hello. Joe says, with the latest MadVR beta, I had to significantly change my audio delay. I think something probably changed on their end. My audio delay is much lower than it used to be, and I adjusted. Yeah, that's what I need to double check as well. Sammy was asking me that. It's like, did your MadVR update? And maybe it did, and I didn't realize it. And that's when I was able to take the delay out of the out of my settings in the Anthem. So, but that was a while back that happened to me. So, Mr. Max Inkster, I'm considering buying Kaleidoscope Shredder open box. Okay, open box for $24.99 from Epic Systems. Well, if you'd like to, of course, that's fine. I would recommend Techthusiasm over Epic Systems. Flash, I like for your store and email campaigns. Oh, analytics for your store and email campaigns. So I'm still not sure what you mean. Like you're curious to see like what kind of analytics are you looking for? A remote is not included by default with any of the Strato players. Technically it's a $50 accessory. I tend to throw them in for most folks. Right. Wow, we're at 617. So it was a little rough. I could feel it. It was a little rough in the early going, but I kind of hit a stride here, and it's okay. I think as soon as I log off and I stop talking, though, I'm going to cough for 10 minutes and spew some goo and clean out the accumulation of stuff that's going on here. So I'm going to try to keep my family healthy and clean for the next few days. Hopefully, our plans for the next week and a half stay intact. I need to try to film some content real quick. As I was up north, I had a list of video titles and topics that I wanted to get to. I was still needed to do like it's already now second week of the new year, and I didn't really do like a best of. Or, I don't know, we'll do a worst of, but I already had a plan like for like ranking my my best 6 home theater upgrades for 2025. I wanted to do that. I wanted to film the living room tour, um, and a couple of other things. I still needed to film some QM9K content, and now it's like I don't know. I had the idea. I was gonna ask my son. It's like let's make the ultimate QM9K blowout review, and then as I start to say like here it is, he'll be just like, Dad, they just announced the 11L, and we basically just stop because it doesn't matter anymore. And kind of do it as a parody or something, but. So I'm going to try to get some things filmed in the next few days, get some footage in the kitty, get some things editing, in editing and ready to go to post over the next couple of weeks. But as we go forward, again, I will try, and there probably will be a time change, likely, possibly a day and a time change next week, and the week after. So there will definitely be no stream the following Monday. So the live stream will be impacted the next 2 weeks. I'll try to make them happen. But there'll be some shifts, some time shifts. This Wednesday at 5 o'clock, alternative is probably a pretty decent alternative to try to hold, but we'll see how that shakes up. Keep the This Week in Kaleidoscape videos flowing for the next 2 weeks as well. The second week onward should be no problem. Next week will be the technical challenge to getting it filmed, edited, and uploaded relative to the type of access and text structure that I'll be under, um, for that moment. Um, yeah, and then hopefully we'll get the other content going. And again, you want to and please hit the webpage, subscribe to the newsletter. I will be making that a regular part of the activity going forward, and a lot of big plans to see through, kick off, and see through into into 2026. Very excited about the start of this year and everything that this year is going to hold. I feel like there's this is a year of like massive opportunity in life. I turned 50 I turned 50 this year. Um, turning a big milestone, and I think like, man, I just got big goals. I got big goals, agendas, and personal plateau level accomplishment things that I want to make and hit this year, in health, in finances, in business, in family, and all that. So it's gonna be a it's gonna be a big one. I want to appreciate every single day of it, because you never know, just never know. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go join the family. I'm gonna go lay on the couch. Maybe we'll watch some Mandalorian. And I hope everybody has a great week. I'm glad we were able to get this done, and I feel a little rejuvenated. So I appreciate everybody, that your well wishes and all that. I give mine back to you, everybody that's dealing with your own plagues. I hope you recover fully, kill these bugs, squash these bugs, and I'm ready to hit that tonal on the other side of that wall and flex some of this virus out of my body very soon. So thanks for watching. Come on back. Subscribe to that newsletter. Reach out if I can help you with your stuff. Go to the webpage, techthusiasm.com. Email me, Jeremy at techthusiasm.net. You're shopping kaleidoscapes. Reach out to me, or pretty much anything else, man. I've got it all now. And awesome brands, new brands to boot, more collaborations coming. So many, I think, super happy and enthusiastic customers. I really try to take care of the people that choose to work with me. I really appreciate it, and it means a whole lot. Thanks for watching. Coming back for more home theater discussion and fun. Talk to you soon.